Okay, on this video, we are gonna dive into your thyroid and fasting. And I'm gonna answer some questions like, what about medications? Should you be taking your medications when you're fasting, your thyroid medication? I'm gonna show you what the research says. I'm gonna show you, what if you have a thyroid condition? You've heard maybe that fasting will exacerbate your thyroid condition. I'm gonna show you the science on that. And then at the end of this video, I go into 5 different scenarios, 5 different thyroid scenarios, and which fast will best fit that. So really excited to share this with you. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. If you love what you hear, send it out to the world. You are more powerful than you've been taught, and my channel is dedicated to showing you that. Hope it helps. Okay, you guys, I've got something really detailed and hopefully really informative for you on this video regarding your thyroid. And if you didn't see my last video on getting to the root cause of your thyroid issues, please go back and look at that, because each one of these thyroid videos link together so that you have a bigger picture to look at so you know how to heal yourself. So let's start with this, okay? I have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, I have 6 different steps I wanna walk you through. At the end of this video, I am gonna give you 5 different types of fasts based off of your specific thyroid condition. So hang in there with me, because again, this is a very meaty one. So the first thing you've got to think about when you're looking at what fast is best for your thyroid is you've got to know your numbers. So in the last video, I talked about it could be an issue with your thyroid because of your liver, your gut, could be an issue because of toxins in the brain. It could be a problem with the thyroid itself. There are 11 different blood tests that we recommend for our patients that you can go. We'll put a link to a blog post that I wrote that lists out those 11. Take those 11 tests to your doctor and have them do a detailed analysis so you know which one of these organs is malfunctioning. It's not as simple as looking at TSH or T4. You got to look deeper. You got to go down into these 11 different measurements. So first thing I want to tell you is know your numbers. Okay, second thing is think about your end result. What are you trying to accomplish with fasting and your thyroid? And at the basis of all of this is we've got to bring cellular inflammation down. So a lot of people say, my blood work is normal, everything looks fantastic, but I have the classic symptoms of a thyroid problem. Or somebody gets on medication and they're like, but I'm still not doing well. The end game is always inflammation reduction. When we bring inflammation down, your cells can open up the receptor sites so that the thyroid hormone can actually get into the cell and metabolize and use that hormone for metabolism. So remember that the goal here is the end game is actually inflammation reduction, and specifically around the cellular membrane, so you can actually get those hormones into the cell. Okay, third thing I want to point out to you is that there is always a toxic piece to every thyroid condition that's out there. The thyroid is the canary in the coal mine. When your thyroid starts malfunctioning, there is a detox issue that needs to be addressed. We've got to look at your toxic load. So you guys know from following me for a while that autophagy fasting is fabulous for cleaning up the cells, but it can also lead to apoptosis. And apoptosis is cellular death, and there will be a redistribution of those toxins. So I did a whole video on that. We will put the link in this video so that you can see it. But if you are fasting and your hair is falling out, you're fasting, and all of a sudden you've become really sensitive to your thyroid medication, which we've seen happen, or somehow your thyroid is going out of balance because of your fasting efforts, there is a very good possibility that your toxins got redistributed and is actually causing you more damage at this point. And we'll talk more about that in this video. Okay, so number 3 is remember there is a toxic issue to all thyroid conditions. Okay, now number 4, what is the research showing? This is the stuff you guys love. So the research I could find was mostly done on Ramadan. People who, from sun up to sundown, they're not eating. So they're fasting probably about 12, 13 hours. And they have found, this is a quote from the study, that in Ramadan, there are minimal changes that they can see happening to T3, T4, and TSH. The reason I point this out to you guys is there's a lot of myths out there that fasting is going to hurt your thyroid. But here's a study that was done, I'll put the link in here, showing that there's actually minimal changes. But this article that I'll link in here went on to even look at other examples, other studies, and they have found that there are a few studies that show us that that T4 can decrease a little bit, and sometimes you'll see TSH go up from a Ramadan style fast, which is really intermittent fasting. But what this study pointed out is actually when after Ramadan, once food was reintroduced, that the T4 and the TSH levels went back to normal. So if you're concerned about fasting harming your thyroid and your thyroid condition, I'm here to tell you that the research is not showing that. The research is showing that it may be a temporary change in these numbers, but once you're done with the fasting endeavor, especially these longer fasts, that you are actually, it goes back to what the value was before. Okay, fifth thing, we hear this all the time. Will fasting affect your medications? Okay, your thyroid medication. I want to read you something from a study. I'm going to link it in here, and then I'm going to get into which fast you should do. So sit tight with me. This study showed that and I'll read it exactly, the amount of your medication absorbed will decrease from 80% to 60%. It'll be higher at 80% in a fasting state, but if you take your medication on a full stomach, it will decrease the absorption if you are eating. So let me repeat that. If you are fasting, the absorption of your medication is much higher, 80%, as compared to when you eat. There's a 60% absorption rate of your medication. So the recommendation with thyroid medication is take it a half an hour before you eat. Now, what I want you to know, for those of you that are on thyroid medication and you're going like 3 to 5 day water fasts, you are going in a fasted state to be absorbing your medication more. So you have to let your doctor know if you're going on to these longer fasts, because you might need some medication modification. But only the doctor that put you on that medication can do that for you. So involve them in that process. Okay. Now, let's get to the meat of this. How do you decide which fast works best for your thyroid condition? And this is based off of all the studies that I have done on fasting and all the thyroid patients I've worked with. I'm pretty excited. I've never put these 5 together like this. So let's start off with scenario number 1. If your blood work is normal, but you have all the symptoms of a thyroid problem, then what you need to do is work on lowering cellular inflammation. And the best thing you can do is create a lifestyle of intermittent fasting, 15 to 17 hours every single day. That's going to bring your inflammation levels down. Second scenario, maybe your TSH is normal, your T4 is normal, but you don't have enough T3. Remember that T4 gets converted into T3 from the liver and the gut. So you're going to want to do more 24-hour fasts because that will help repair the gut. And you're going to want to do more 36-hour fasts because that's what's going to help to squeeze out that extra sugar that's stored in the liver. If your blood test is showing that you have thyroid antibodies, then remember all autoimmune conditions start with an imbalance in the gut, and there's also a toxic piece. So you're going to want to do more 24-hour fasts to heal the gut. I would also recommend you go and watch the video I did on fasting and autoimmunity. But it's gut repair and detox for those of you who have any kind of Hashimoto's situation. Okay, fourth scenario. What if your TSH is high or you have TSH and T4 issues? If TSH is coming from the brain, T4 is coming from the thyroid, this is a detox issue. And you're going to want to do more autophagy fasting, which is great. That's going to cause more cellular health. You're also, if you have a TSH issue and a T4 issue, you want to look into detoxing. If you want to know about our toxin reset, just put toxin reset in the comments. We take a 90-day period and we show you how to detox properly, because if you have TSH issues and T4 issues, you need to know how to detox for the rest of your life. That's a lifelong journey that you're going to want to understand how to do for yourself. Okay, last one. What if you have high reverse T3? This is a common number of blood work that most people are not looking at. Most doctors aren't looking at. It is a sign that you are in adrenal stress and your body is not making T3, which is the helpful bioactive thyroid hormone. You're making reverse T3 and you are under too much stress. So for you, I wouldn't fast. I would say don't fast. Maybe push your breakfast back an hour. But if your thyroid issues are coming because of an influx of stress, don't add more stress to it. Repair the adrenals. Get your body built back up before you go into a fasted state. So there you go. Let me know. I hope that's helpful. You can solve your own thyroid issue once you start to break these things down. On the next video I'm going to do it on what foods you can be eating. I wanted to start with fasting. I wanted to start with you understanding it in the video before this, and then we'll move into foods. And then you've got three-part series on how to heal your own thyroid. Hope that helps.